Oh, we just finished that job right over there. Thinned her out. It's actually pretty tight quarters, a little bit of a job. Yeah, but that's a prime example of where the Mecalac shines. Just took the chipper back to the house. This is actually my buddy Garrett's equipment yard. And yeah, he was on the job with us too. So he just shuttled his skid steer over here, all said and done. Parked the Mecalac behind closed gates. But it's funny, this little road. Well, look right here. See those skid marks? The guy almost went off the road first thing this morning at 7:15. But I gotta go down the road and back in here. I don't know how Garrett does it. And I guess he pulls in here on this cobble stuff and tackles it. And we got my buddy Casey's shirt on. Elder lane clearing. But we're going to be trading the Mecalac for the 080 today. And I'm gonna tell you why. So let's get this thing fired up because it's hot. It's hot. Definitely hot. This thing, don't even need to let it warm up, even if it hadn't been running. She's primed up, ready to go. She's quick. Now, check this out. Power lines right there. Gotta watch out for them old girls. Those things, they'll not only ruin your day, but they'll ruin your month, week, year, everything. Don't rip those out. And that is one of the big reasons why a Mecalac is just kicking ass. Not only does it have a million different functions, but that unique boom. Oh gosh. And it's a skid steer too. Truck all the way down here, get it on old 40K. The things that make the Mecalac worthy of going for over the other rigs, and then vice versa, because it really confused people when I got rid of the 290 and kept the old 080 and got this. Well, you got to go with what makes sense, and some stuff fits the category that we're in. Some stuff goes backwards, and then other stuff, like the Mecalac here, takes into a whole nother ball game. And quite obviously, there wasn't a ton of people lining up at the doors to, go out and spend this kind of money on a machine that's going to do the same as something else. For us as owner-operator, and this thing, pretty much, I'm the one who runs it all the time. You can take advantages of it, but normal excavator, if you're just hiring a crew, they may not benefit from this kind of a rig. Where's my button at? So this rig here, not only does it have more reach when everything's all extended out than a 290, an 080, but it's got double the travel speed, pushing power. The lift capability of this old girl it's unbelievable, really. It just, stuff that you think it would struggle with, it just lifts it and throws it around like it doesn't care. Also, you see how the boom's tucked back in there? The hinge point is right on the edge of the cab like a normal excavator, and then it takes the leverage all the way back. This thing is stupidly stable. I like it a lot. Salad bar, get out of the way, Pine. That thing's gonna be big enough to be annoying around them wires soon. Oh, loaded up. We're just humming down this hill. Woo, got up to 40. Let's touch the brakes. We got a stop sign up there somewhere. Also, this machine, technically, yep, you should probably have a little bit more than a 30K trailer to rock and roll with this thing. An 080, right on the threshold. You can get by with a 212 and still be on the money, even with a 3500. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You gotta lift the boom up so we can lift the ramp up. Look at that. Mechanically locks, but the hydraulics hold it from going anywhere else. But you gotta lift it up over its center point and then back down. pretty cool little thingamajigger that Diamond C came out with, you know, the whole trailer in general. I think everybody looks at one of these and thinks they're tiny. They're actually freaking huge for gooseneck. I'll have them pull this rig over by the 080. Everybody thinks with that short boom, because it's tucked in like that, that it's shorter than everything else. The multiple cylinders definitely give it the advantage, and just the location of them. The cylinder has more power to push out than it has to pull in. It's just the surface area on the ram inside the cylinder that allows it to do that. If you don't understand that, you gotta go watch a video on how cylinders work. But just as this thing eases on over towards the 080, everybody's seen one of those around. Hardly anybody sees these around. See, look how much bigger the dang boom is, thickness-wise, over the 080. And why I didn't go with a 290 is because it didn't outlift an 080. 290 is the version of this made by Takeuchi, which I really freaking wanted. But, see how this one, the boom set? I'll get him to curl that back in. Driving around all over the place, this thing's sitting way high. I got this extended on the third cylinder so that it looks like a normal excavator. But I'll have him recoil that back in there. Look how much smaller of a profile that thing condenses back into than the 080. That right there is one of the big selling points, because look at how low that sucker sits. That one, yeah, it's got the Incon on it and everything, but this has got a pretty hefty rotobeck. So we're gonna load up all the buckets and everything, because I got some dirt work jobs at the house, and the 080 actually gets into the power lines too often for doing stuff around the wood yard here. So that's why we're swapping them out. If we have to take this one on a job, I just went by here and get it. But yeah, price point, this is quite a bit more expensive if you buy them brand new. But if you buy one of these from Global, or maybe other dealers do it too, when they order the machine, they'll order it with X amount of buckets and everything else for it. So it's a package deal. It's cheaper as a group, is what they told me. And so when they ship it, it comes all as one. So we got a skid steer bucket, digging bucket, pallet forks, the adapter to go to skid steer parts, and it all hooks right up on there. Versus one of these, it's all straight up an option when you buy it from a local Kubota dealer. So this one was already, you know, had quite a bit of extra stuff on it. And we bought this from, actually, this is his old machine right here. And yeah, we had to buy the Incon afterwards. It only came with, we bought it from here back. But they're both 2018 machines. And yeah, I got thousands of hours on an 080, and I got 600 hours on that right now. And any day of the week, any machine, if we're gonna go do some excavation, well, now that we got an Incon, a little different, but doing some tree work and any of that, lifting heavy stuff, gotta go with Mecalac. And that is, if you didn't know, the 10 MCR 080-4. See where the hinge is at? Sticking out further, and then it's got all this extra monkey motion so that it can articulate. I personally, I could care less for that, but yeah, you gotta go to a bigger excavator to get away from that. But let's go ahead and load our buckets up. Show you guys around the cab of this. We got regen going on. One nice thing about this rig, look how high the boom is though. Oh jeez. Just so you can operate. Your operating height of your grapple is going to be 10 feet higher. There we go. I got this thing set up so the controls are the same as the Mecalac. I had to switch some of those around a little bit, but I couldn't grab the buckets all together with the grapple because there's too many. Then I didn't even get out of the machine because it's an Incon. We swapped around. But this right here, the old 080, could not do this. Just creep. It was so frustrating because it would just get out of line and it would start hucking bucking. It was full pedal or nothing. So this new one's definitely, except for that depth crap, that's just a little bit annoying. Well, it's not depth, but DPF. Two things that kind of separate these as far as what I'm looking for in the control department. All right, when you get into it, on the Mecalac, the only thing you got to do is hit one button to rev it up. It doesn't have an auto idle, which kind of sucks. This one has an auto idle unless it's doing this stupid stuff that needs to be removed, because this one sounds obnoxious when it's doing regen. See? Well, inside and out. But another thing about the Mecalac is you don't have to hit any buttons to turn your auxiliary functions on. This one, every time you have to do that. And with the Encon, this particular one, you got to wait a second for that the computer to kick on, or else you get in the machine, crank it, and hit the button, it ain't gonna fly. So that Encon is a bad bitch, though, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Let's get this spun around and tied down. I don't want to take out a power line. Look at how high this is to just maneuver. It's huge. I know, bigger excavator guys that work for a company somewhere, they don't even, they're like, oh, that's a small machine. Well, guess what? Bought and paid for. Bought and paid for. Yeah, shut up. So I've mentioned this when I got this machine, why we got a Mecalac. We wanted something that was going to outperform the last machine that we got. Another 080, even a newer one, wasn't going to do the trick. Same 080, still a good machine. My buddy Garrett's running it right now. Nothing wrong with it. Got a couple of, actually, this one's got the same amount of hours on it as our old one does. But we went with the Mecalac because opportunity arose. We got the Canada maple syrup version that's got the extra little horsepower kick already added, and a couple other goodies. And that thing just blew the 290 and the 080 out of the water. Freaking love it. But then when we got the new 080, people are like, why didn't you just get another, why didn't you get the 290 at this opportunity? Why'd you get another Kubota? The last Kubota, yeah, we might have had our differences here and there on a couple hose routing issues. But at the end of the day, that thing still got us everything that we got here. That's what started all this. So the Kubota had proven its point. And this one, it was just kind of, situation was right for this all to work out. Mainly because this machine, like I said, we bought it bare stick. So it didn't have any real perk option to it other than it was a very clean machine, had a couple goodies added to it, and some nicely, smartly added guards here and there, brush guard on the front, and it's in excellent shape. But the big ticket is it came with the Encon setup already plumbed into it. So all the hoses, everything, hydraulic quick coupler there, the electrical goes into there. It's always high, like it's positive charge to the head all the time. So the electronics, they just open up the valves to let the flow do its thing inside the Encon. So this machine, yes, it cost more than our old 080. It wasn't a clean swap. And then we had to buy that, which that alone costs as much as the old 080. But we made the call if we could part ways with the old one for something we were happy with, and called my buddy up and he was down for it, and it's actually treated him pretty good as far as I can tell, which I'm stoked on. So why we went with a Kubota again is because the deal was perfect, it lined up great, and the Kubota already proved itself. That's why, in my personal opinion, the cats are pretty expensive. I don't think, slow down, Dad, just loud. Put it in fourth gear or something. But these things, the price point is excellent. They've proven themselves. They're, for what they are, a pretty stable machine. Horsepower is 73, 74, just about what that thing would have been factory. And now this one's got an Encon. I personally think that the excavator platform like this, I like it better for running the Encon on this, just because the boom functions with that, with all the extra cylinders and stuff. The coordination speed isn't quite as fast as a standard excavator, but then the power is double, triple what this thing is. And yeah, this is happy with this setup, Encon setup rig, and then the full tilt, go out and do some forestry stuff. Horsepower to the boom, hydraulic flow is a lot better with that one. over this one. This will do it, but you know. Oh, and this one also came with extra counterweight. Four-way blade. Yep. Just like our old rig. Worked out perfect. Well, let's get on out of here. I just wanted to elaborate why we went with these and all that, because a lot of folks just didn't get it why we went back to another 080, because it was a perfect setup. It was a perfect opportunity to get into an income. Couldn't turn it down. Well, I got the 080 on deck back there. We're headed back to the house. We don't have any jobs for either of them right now. He's got some stuff at the house that one works better for, and I got plenty of headroom down at my house, so the excavator didn't really matter. Better suit our needs to swap them out and do a little trade. I know this isn't a... Whoa, why'd you downshift to 3200? Let me third gear, would you please? Thank you. I know this isn't a video comparing the two side by side, going through the functions and all that. I got a bunch of videos on both these machines in action, doing their business, and you know, you go back and do your research on those. And for the hours I've spent time on each one of them, this one, yeah, I'd say it's a little bit lighter, even though it's got all those extra attachments and buckets and stuff on there. But I like the 080, man. Especially this new one. I thought the new Takeuchi, when I got it was a 2021 machine. I thought the motor functions were pretty smooth on it. Definitely smoother than our other two excavators, the older KUBOTAs that we had. Haas still has a small one. But my point being is this new 080 just as smooth. So I thought it was just Takeuchi had the upper hand on it, but I think it was just the times. That's all there was. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found some humor in the little trade-a-roo. And hopefully this shed some light on the situation of why we got what we got. Because, you know, when you guys ask questions outside of YouTube on why I got machine this, why I got machine that, I try to make videos so that you understand why. And not that I'm not trying to talk to you guys, but it's easier to make the video and talk to the broad group of you rather than, you know, answer each email individually. I like both these machines. If I was going to pick one and one only, it would be a Mecalac. But we are blessed and able to have both of them and a couple others, so we're going to keep rocking and rolling with what we got. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Let me know which machine you like better and why.